Was good, champs? It's your boy Jerry, and today's video will be on Rajon Rondo and the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, Rajon Rondo started off this season as an Atlanta Hawk, and he was dealt to the Clippers for Lou Will at the trade deadline. Now, the Clippers expressed in the offseason that they wanted a point guard, mainly Kawhi Leonard. You know, he was on the record saying they needed a point guard, they needed a floor general. And, you know, he was right. You look at them in the playoffs last year, look at them against the Nuggets, they were up 3-1. Like the 3 games that the Nuggets won in a row, the Clippers were leading at halftime by double digits every time, 15 points, 16 points, 17 points. And at the end of those games, you look at their offense, it really wasn't nobody to direct traffic. Wasn't nobody to get guys to their spots. It was Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, you know, a lot of the time trying to figure that stuff out. And that's not really a part of their game. You look at Kawhi Leonard and Paul George at previous points in their careers. You look at, you know, PG-13. You know, he's played with point guards before. He's played with George Hill. He's more of a traditional point guard, pass first, get guys to their spot, run the offense. And then, you know, the next team he played for, OKC, Russell Westbrook. You know, Westbrook decision-making is poor, but come on, he averaged 10 assists a game for his career. So he's somewhat of a playmaker, direct traffic. And then you look at Kawhi Leonard. You know, he played like the first 7 or 8 years in San Antonio with Tony Parker. You know, Tony Parker is a traditional point guard, pass first. You know, he definitely could score, but in Pop system, he what his job was, to distribute the ball and, you know, run the offense. And then where did Kawhi Leonard go next? He went to Toronto. And they had Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry know how to get guys to their spot. You know, he's a true point guard. You know how to, direct traffic, and you know how to distribute the ball. So then at the next point of their careers, both these guys are in, you know, they're on the Los Angeles Clippers. You look at their team, you know, it's no playmakers on their team. It's not one true playmaker on the Clippers like it is on other playoff contender teams. You look at not the Clippers, but you look at the Lakers last year, they had LeBron James, one of the greatest playmakers of all time. You look at the Houston Rockets, they had James Harden and Russell Westbrook last year. You look at the Denver Nuggets, they had Nikola Jokic. So you look at all these teams, you know, most of these playoff contender teams had distributors on their team. And you get to the Clippers, their point guard was Pat Bev. Now, Pat Bev is not a point guard. I don't know what the guy is. He's basically a 3-and-D player in a point guard's body. You know, he's just, unfortunately, he's just 6'1". But Pat Bev is not, he can't run the offense. He can't set up his teammates. It's just not in his game. And then you go look at the rest of the guards on the Clippers team last year. You had Reggie Jackson. He's more of a, he's more of a 2 guard. He's more of a scorer. He doesn't really look to get guys, he doesn't look to make plays for others. And then you look at Sweet Lou, 6 man, Lou Will. Lou Will was he was a certified bucket getter. He wasn't worried about, he wasn't worried about getting other people involved unless, he absolutely had to. But, his main mentality was scoring. So the Clippers did not have a playmaker last year. And now this is where we insert Rondo. Now, I feel like this move, them getting Rondo, I feel like it was the right move. If you look at Rondo last year in the playoffs against Denver, against Denver, and against Miami, he had some pretty big games, some pretty big plays. I don't remember. I think that was like game 3, game 2 against Denver. Anthony Davis hit that big. Oh no! This is against Miami in the finals. I forget which game, but it was a close one. Rondo, he sets up. He scored like 2 threes in his fourth quarter, and then he set up AD for like basically a game-sealing 3. So Rondo made a lot of big plays in the playoffs last year. He showed that he can still score the basketball when he needs to. And not only that, he was able to take that pressure off LeBron James. When he was on the court with him and when LeBron James was off the court, Rondo was able to run the Lakers offense, get guys to their spot, and he was also able to create for himself. So, you put this on the Clippers. The Clippers, now Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they don't have to worry about creating for others. A fun fact, both them guys are averaging, career highs. They're averaging career highs in assists this year, because there's nobody else to do it. So now putting Rondo on there, You look at his first 3 games with the Clippers. The first game, he played about 19 minutes. He scores 15 points. He gets 9 assists. And it was in a, it was a pretty big game. I forgot who they was playing. I believe it was the Suns. It was the Suns. It was a nippy game. It was close, and Rondo showed up huge in his Clipper debut. So with the Clippers, what they getting with Rondo, they are getting a distributor. Something they desperately needed. They're getting a guy that not only he can distribute, but he can play defense. He's a nuisance on defense. I don't know if you guys saw in the playoffs last year against the Rockets. He's picking up James Harden, 94 feet, 96 feet, getting steals. And really just really being effective, all around. So the Clippers are getting that, and I think it's huge for them. And I definitely think it's the piece that they missing. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the playoffs. But looking at it, Rondo adds playmaking to the Clippers. He adds defense, and he adds the ability to score. And not only that, he adds the most important thing that the Clippers need. The Clippers need leadership. When you look at it, nobody on that Clippers team really held anybody accountable. I mean, if you want to say Trez and Lou Will and Pat Bev, I don't think they were good leaders because they voiced their frustrations to themselves and not like to the whole team. So I think Rondo is gonna do great things not only on the court but in the locker room as well. So we're gonna see how this play out with the Clippers, and that's gonna be it for this video, man. If you enjoyed, give it a like, a thumbs up. Subscribe for more weekly content, weekly videos, and that's curtains, man.